From the creators who brought you RuPaul's Drag Race and $1 Million Listing, this is World of Wonder's Wow Report. Things that make us go wow.
Welcome to another edition of the Wow Report. I'm one of your hosts, Benjamin Bailey, co-founder of World of Wonder, joined by my excellent, nay, better parts, James St. James.
Woo! Yay!
He needs no introduction. And Tom Campbell, who also needs no introduction.
Nice to be here. Good to see you, fellas. Welcome back, Fenton.
Thank you.
Welcome
Thank
back,
you.
Fenton.
Well,
It's always nice to see you.
I'm in like a snowy New York, and it's sort of a winter wonderland. What are we doing? We count down the top 10 things of the week that made us go wow. So, number 10, Tom.
Number 10.
I had an epic weekend. And by epic, I mean Elvis Presley in concert, the documentary concert film by Baz Luhrmann.
Luhrmann, yes, it's abs. I've seen the reviews for it, and I've seen the previews and the trailers. It looks amazing.
All thumbs up.
Yeah.
It is incredible. The backstory is Baz Luhrmann, while producing and directing the Elvis feature a few years ago, sent someone, I guess there are salt mines underground in Kansas, where places like Warner Brothers, in this case, store film footage because it's very dry and it won't wear out. So you have to spend $100,000 just to get entry, because I know Fenton wanted to go, but you have to spend $100,000 to go in. He went down hoping to get like 30 minutes of unseen footage. They ended up getting 30 boxes of outtakes and excess footage that was shot for a couple of Elvis documentaries or concert films that were in 71 and 73. Yes, James?
I thought that it was the lost footage from his Vegas residency. I thought there was a lot of footage from that.
There is, and that was a concert called Elvis Where It's At or something. And there was another one, Elvis in concert. So some of it looks familiar because I'm a little bit of an Elvis geek lately, but he's in the big white jumper suit when he introduced that, when he opened up.
I love that.
Yeah,
that 70s, you see, that 70s Elvis is somewhat disrespected, right? It's considered that he was a bit overblown, a bit gone to seed.
But I think this might change that, because watching the little bit that I've seen, he is still so dynamic, so charismatic, and so sexy, even in his bloated state.
But we forget, we exaggerate the fat Elvis, because I think it was such a shock, but it was really kind of 75, 76, 78 when he passed away. And, it was sadly, that's always, to me, is a story of addiction. It's like, that's what happens. It takes you down fast. But in 1971, he was perfection. He was beautiful, facially he's beautiful. And even in 73, you could see in some of the footage, he's a little fuller, but the coloring, his skin, and the symmetry of his face, he's just so endlessly fascinating and beautiful to watch.
Something interesting. People have exaggerated his bloated Elvis because the cartoon version in our heads is not reality. Because if you look at what fat people were in the 70s, is probably what skinny people are now. The world has become fat Elvis, and it's like, when you look at him, he's not even fat anymore compared to people today.
Could it also be, though, that we are older, and so we are looking with kinder eyes on someone who, when we were younger, we were like, oh, he looks a little bit
There is probably that, yeah.
I mean, he did have a decline. He did have a problem, and it was shocking at the time. But if he had lived, he could have had his comeback a million times. It's so sad.
But this is it, right? This is
yes, it's true. Baz Luhrmann loves Elvis, and so you are seeing Elvis. Like when the museum, when they put on the gloves to touch it, like it is the most beautiful portrait of Elvis.
And Baz Luhrmann he knows how to hook an audience.
Yes. He's the biggest showman. This is a great genre for him. There's a little bit of archive
and a great director coming together.
Yeah. And there's a little bit of archive. Every song is kind of contextualized, but not it goes by quickly. It's dynamic. It's fun. The catch is they didn't have sound with it. So they had to recreate sound. Now, in a New York Times article, he was saying there's no AI, which to me, call me cynical, but isn't that what you'd say if there was AI? And then they do all the stuff with the sound of the music. I want to see it again, because somebody said in the New York Times article about it in the comment section that seeing Elvis at that time in the 70s, as great as he was, he did the same exact act every night. So they said there's tons of audio, because he told the same jokes. He did the same, kind of thing.
Right. Playing his tapes, right? He was just like in auto mode. Oh, brilliant.
I started to notice in the credits that In the Ghetto, which is made to be epic, In the Ghetto, written by Mac Davis from Elvis Presley and the London Orchestra. And it's like, oh, Baz has gone in on certain tunes and retuned them and made so it's more of an epic feeling. You don't feel cheated. It's just, it creates the atmosphere. It's the filmmaker adding to the experience of the story and the arc. So it's
funny that it took me about 2 weeks to realize that epic is Elvis Presley.
Me too. I thought, what a terrible title. I thought, why isn't it Elvis? But it's Elvis Presley in concert.
That Baz Luhrmann's clever.
He really is.
So good. I cannot wait to see it. My stepmother is an Elvis super fan. She saw him like 3 times in concert. I want to go down and visit her and take her to it because I want to experience it with a super fan.
They should put it on the Sphere.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. Elvis is perfect for the Sphere.
Oh, yes.
$1 million idea. $1 million
Everybody
idea.
in Vegas would just go bananas for that. Yes.
It's worth noting that before he went onto the stage, he went to MGM Studios where he was doing all his movies at the time. And he just jammed with his band and the background singers. They sang like 150 songs to try to figure out which ones they wanted to put into the show. So there's all of that footage from that session as well. Wow. So it'll be one song, but you'll see like 3 or 4 different performances of it, but they're seamless and dynamic. And all right, I'm done.
Oh, wow. That's in theaters now. Epic. Elvis Presley in concert.
Yes.
James, number 9.
Number 9.
I watched the State of the Union last night so that you don't have to.
Thank you.
It was a shit show from beginning to end. It was the longest State of the Union ever, an hour and 45 minutes, something like that. Apparently, he told 46 lies per minute is what they clocked.
Per minute?
Per minute, he was in bang, 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 bang. Just one after the other. The Republicans were like trained seals, or standing up and laughing and applauding every single thing he said. A lot of the Democrats, of course, didn't show up. So there were a lot of empty seats there. The Democrats brought some Epstein victims. He did not acknowledge the Epstein files once during the hour and 45 minutes. He did not look at them. He did not respond to them. Very early on, Democrat Al Green was carried out because he had a huge sign saying black people are not apes in response to the viral video of the Obamas being apes. So they ejected him and everyone applauded. Erica Kirk was there. And she seems to have finally gotten the memo that you don't arrive in LeMay in sequins.
And she had no fireworks.
She had no fireworks with her. She didn't have even a sparkler. She dabbed her eyes, of course. And then she would look up when they introduced her. She looked up to the heavens and then looked down and dabbed her eyes. So she seems to be doing the widow thing now because people have told her that you were a little over the top, I think. Melania was there. New movie star, Melania Trump. She's the biggest star in the world. She was there. She was wearing Dolce & Gabbana, and Dolce & Gabbana, as we know, are garbage people.
I had to turn it off.
Well, I saw you. You said you watched 3 minutes of it and you were going to puke. So I gotcha, babe.
Yeah, I had to turn it off after our OSHA Couch Vance or whatever, and they all stood up and they're do it again.
And then
I like that.
Today
I like that.
Was saying that Mike Johnson and JD Vance were like Bert and Ernie behind him, and they just laugh. Everything he says is just hysterical. Like 3 minutes in, he was like, people come up to me all the time and they say, sir, we're tired of winning. There's too much winning. We're used to being losers. And I say, you're gonna win like nobody has ever seen before. And I had a drinking game going on X in which I said every time he says, like nobody has ever seen before, which is his go-to whenever he starts to mentally fart.
Alcohol poisoning spiked all over the country because of your X game, right?
Yeah. Representatives Ilhan Omar and Talisha Rashad, I think are their names. What are they? From Minnesota. When he started lying about Minnesota, they were screaming back at him. Thank God somebody did.
Liar.
Yeah, liar, and you kill people, you killed people,
You killed Americans, yeah.
killed Americans. Did you
And
watch
then
it?
didn't he call them out for not standing up? They were like, you should be
Yeah.
ashamed of yourselves for not standing up. But there is an alternative State of the Union that Midas Touch did, which I haven't yet watched, but they ran it at the same time with a whole bunch of politicians and missing a lot of the Democrats who weren't there. Did this alternative State of the Union, which you might want to check out from Midas.
Oh, let's little counter programming on Turner Classic Movies. They show Gaslight.
I know. I almost didn't want to say it because clearly someone of there is very subversive and communicating through movie titles and movie themes. Brilliant.
It's hysterical. But Fenton, you did watch it?
Absolutely not. No. No. I'm almost incapable of taking in any more from him.
Yeah, I hear you.
Moving on. Oh yeah.
Oh, can I give James a review for this piece?
Yes.
I like that. Yes. Moving on. Number 8.
Number 8.
Last time I was here, I wasn't with you guys when you probably talked about the Bad Bunny show, but I just have to say I was on a plane and I woke up and was scrolling through the Instagram and seeing Bad Bunny give his younger self every time I looked at it, I started crying. So I have just finished crying from that when I discover Punch the Monkey. And I'm like, it's destroyed all over again. I cannot stop crying.
But you see that there has been some good news about Punch since.
Yes. Okay, well, he's a young. I can't believe anyone within the sound of our voices doesn't know who Punch the Monkey is, but he's a young macaque monkey born in Shizuoka Zoo in Japan and rejected by his mother because he was like weak and poor and tiny. Oh my gosh, he's just the cutest thing.
He found himself a little mate with his little stuffed animal.
They gave him an IKEA orangutan, plushie orangutan, which he drags around everywhere. And it's just something so, what is it? I just can't stop. I look at it and I just see him like
that maternal button in you. You just want to hug. You want to hug him like he's hugging the little plushie toy.
You do. And the way he like gets beaten up by the big macaques and then grabs the thing and like hides under it or cuddles it. It's just like, oh.
Well, last I saw, he had a friend that was helping
him.
Yes,
his mother did come and hug him, and then he has made another friend.
No, I don't think it was his mother. I think it was someone else, wasn't it?
Oh, I know an older female came.
Yes, he is making progress. And of course, that's the problem with the algorithm, right? It is like nothing's in order anymore. So you don't know where the story is. And you're like, is it this? Is it that? And then also there's all the AI stuff. So it's just massively confusing trying to find the narrative. But I hope
AI about the monkey,
there's AI monkey. There's a Pixar style short already out there about it. Not
James, I hate to tell you, but anytime you see like a cat disco dancing, it's AI.
It's AI, yes. But here was the interesting thing. So I thought, I should do a little research for the show. So I'm like ChatGPT, and it keeps on pulling up a Punch-kun, a monkey born in 2012. And this just goes to show what short memories we have, or maybe no memories, because in 2012, there was a similar incident in another zoo in Japan with a little monkey that was very sickly and very poorly. And they took him in, the zookeepers took him in and sort of human helped him. And he became an instant massive viral hit. I've never seen pictures of this, but massive viral hit. They dressed him in clothes. Everyone went to the zoo, kind of exactly what is happening right now. Because that zoo in Ishikawa, 4 times, enormous long lines, millions of views on TikTok.
I was going to ask you to send us there so we could report on it.
Well, here's the thing. It's not a good story in the sense that if humans imprint on a macaque monkey, it's not good news because these monkeys, the whole thing is really hierarchical and it is all about dominance. And there's a code the little monkeys have to learn in terms of eye contact, vocalization.
And so what you're doing is you're taking this poor little monkey, and you're putting him to the head of the class without having him learning all those hierarchical rules.
Because in the other Punch-kun story, when the little chimp reached sexual puberty, turned very aggressive and was attacking his carers and attacking the public. And
That's
This
what
is
happens.
exactly what happens on the rare occasions that James hosts the Wow Report.
oh, I want to hear about
You
that.
know that monkeys in puberty are often get very violent. That's what happened with Bubbles. Remember we had that. Yes.
And the problem
you.
is actually caused by human bonding and human imprinting. And that, I'm sorry to tell you, but this earlier story in 2012 turns out terribly badly. They had to euthanize the poor little thing at 4 years old. And people were outraged and what have you. So this time they are trying to do it differently.
That's what they were saying, how they aren't allowed to go in and help the monkey. He has to do it all on himself, because otherwise you're going to have that situation where you have the human, imprint all over him. Yeah.
And that is the problem with homeschooling.
Well, that's a whole different topic. I was just about to go off into a thing about dogs and cats, but because the whole point about dogs and cats is they are domestic animals. And however cute that little monkey dragging that little plushie along looks domesticated, he is not domesticated. And so the outcome is, it's looking good that he's now socializing and bonding with the pack, and fingers crossed, but we won't really know for a couple of years until whether he's able to make it. But it's very, very sad.
Wow.
Yeah. So I love just darkening the mood here.
Maybe I can go there every month for the next couple of years and report on it.
I love
But the fact that you won't even send me to Chicago to see the drag race experience.
Honey, we saved your life. We refused to send you to Uganda because you wanted to go and find gay people in Uganda. And we were like, I don't know that that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Rejection's protection, James. Rejection's protection.
We'll give you a plushie, sweetie. It'll be okay. Stop That Train is our upcoming theatrical film starring RuPaul, directed by Adam Shankman.
When does it come out? It's coming out soon, isn't it?
May 29th. May 29th. Go opening weekend. Go to the theater. Bring your friends.
Yes.
We are barreling towards that premiere date like a runaway train.
And James, okay, I will get you a ticket. Go see Layla McQueen at the Drag Race Experience. Actually, is it this weekend or was that last weekend, Blake?
It's this weekend. Layla will be there.
And James, I will stand you a ticket if you go to Chicago to see, well, you don't have to go to see Layla McQueen, but it would be good. She'd love it, I'm sure. But go to the Drag Race Experience.
I'll start hitchhiking tonight.
Bring us a report. Yes.
Bring a couple cute outfits. Videotape yourself. You know how it works.
Yeah, I know how
Lots
it works.
of content, please.
You invented it.
Well, I've got a question for you guys, but I've also got a little factoid.
Mhm.
In 1951, on this day, 75 years ago, the 22nd Amendment to the U.S. was passed. Do you know what that is? It's limiting the tenure of holding the presidential office to 2 terms.
Oh,
After FDR.
well, we can forget about that.
But my question is, I'm learning from Jerry Thinks. He's this guy who talks about geography and why cities are where they are in terms of geography and ports and things like that. What was Atlanta's original name?
We'll have the answer right after the break here on the Wow Report on Radio Andy.
You're listening to World of Wonders Wow Report. Things that make us go wow.
And welcome back to the Wow Report. I am Fenton here with James and Tom and Blake.
Yes, and my question, hat tip to Jerry Thinks on TikTok, who talks about cities and geography and why cities are where they are. What was Atlanta's original name?
Well, it seems like there was a whole state there that is not there anymore. It was like Franklinburg or something like that back in the 1800s, early 1800s. So I'm going to say Franklin.
Okay.
I think it was called Peach Swamp.
Fenton, any guesses? RuPaulville?
Yeah, RuPaulville. Yeah.
It was actually called Terminus because it was where trains went, and basically that was the train terminal.
Well, Terminus on The Walking Dead is one of the most evil places on the planet. Terminus is where they were eating the people, where the cannibals were.
Well, I'm glad they changed it to Atlanta.
Fun fact, I believe the red cars, the trains in LA used to turn around in West Hollywood, and so, or it ended in West Hollywood. So a lot of train workers who were gentlemen who didn't necessarily have wives and families because they could travel all the time, gay people, in other words, settled in West Hollywood. Part of that was because of the red line.
Oh.
Wow.
Wow.
This is all fascinating.
It is. It's almost like I don't want to go on anymore.
I'm obsessed with trains now.
Exactly. Everyone train trivia for the rest of the year.
We are counting down the top 10 things of the week that made us go wow, and we've reached number 7, Tom.
Number 7.
I gave up Twitter over a year ago during all the Doge stuff, and I stayed off it, and I was sucked back in because I love to read. On the East Coast, Drag Race airs 3 hours before it does here. And it's still one of the very active social media shows. And I love to read moment by moment people's reply, like at 5 o'clock on. And I didn't do it for a whole last season. And I missed it. And I'd go to Reddit. So I went back on, which has given me the occasion to dip my toe back into the... everyone knows this is too broad, but it also is something that John Oliver focused on this past week on his show. Twitter is just beyond despicable. And he had all of these, it's so much, and it's really is like a neighborhood that's gone to shit because, and worse in a year. And he pointed out a lot of factors as he does, very dense, very interesting, worth watching, but how they did an experiment where they took people whose social media imprint were very conservative, very liberal, and people that socially had no political interest whatsoever, and that conservatives see much less, like a tiny, like 25% of maybe mainstream liberal stuff, and they see 75% of their own. That liberals see 50-50, so we see much more, and that even non-political people see like 60% conservative, 40. It's like it's crazy, and it's so poison. And you think, like, I guess I'm just used to the comfort of my algorithm on Facebook or Instagram where I don't see that stuff, but it pops up. And worse than useless and active liability, no guardrails. I think I got to give it up again.
Okay. Well, now here's the thing, though, that I need to point out, and I've talked about this on the show before, is that there is rage bait. There is a lot of rage engagement that is geared towards liberals. That's absolutely true. But you can train your algorithm, and I have done that. Because like you said, if you're watching a lot of Drag Race, you're going to start getting more Drag Race feed.
Yeah.
Right now, my algorithm, my timeline is nothing but A Night of the Seven Kingdoms and Carolyn Bessette Kennedy.
All right.
That is all I see right now on my main timeline. On mine, I have cultivated a wonderful group of people. I have about 34,000 followers, which means that. But that means that I get about 10% active engagement. And it's people that I've gotten to know over the years. They have been consistently with me for 10 years. We go back and forth. We have spirited arguments and debates.
I get it. It's just the neighborhood's going to shit, and I worry about you guys.
But like I tell you, I don't see that much. But the one good thing about that rage engagement is that you do get a sense of what the other side is up to. And you gotta, in this day and age, you gotta know what the Republicans are doing, because I do see that. I am aware of what their sneaky little stories are.
I think I do. I also recognize, even on Facebook, I recognize the rage bait, even that they'll use the F word. They'll say political things.
The R word. The R word is the big one on Twitter. Yeah. I see.
But you just know that that's not really a liberal person. That is someone who's baiting liberals. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Those posts, they seem like, oh, they're on our side. It's like, no, they're just trying to alienate us and push us apart.
But the other thing that's important to remember about this is that there's a story in the New York Times today about Trump. In the Epstein files, that he was raping a 13-year-old girl or something like that, and it's all come out in New York Times. But you aren't seeing it on CNN. You aren't seeing it on MSNBC. You are not seeing it on ABC Nightly News. You are not seeing it on NBC Nightly News. You certainly aren't seeing it on
NPR uncovered the story, actually.
NPR, and then it went to New York Times. But that's the only place you're seeing it is on Twitter. Is the only place you're seeing it is online. You are not seeing it in the mainstream news. So that's where it helps to know those things.
I
And the
don't know
last-
how I trained my algorithm, but because I wasn't conscious of doing it, but I see a lot of anti-Trump stuff on the algorithm. I really do. I don't, and occasionally a little remark pops up, but
But I would
generally,
think that you could train yours to do monkeys in Japan. You could do space exploration, things from the Hubble or the new
Yeah.
telescope. I mean, you
Yeah.
can train it so that it's
And the
good.
last thing, and I have a very almost invisible presence on TikTok because I just have never gotten into it. I can see how it's very, very addictive and very entertaining. But I was on it the other night for whatever reason, and everything was AI. Everything was AI.
Yeah.
Everything was AI.
That's my
point-
Instagram experience. All I
A
see
lot.
is
I
is
have no
AI.
interest in what I'm seeing because I just think it's all, and I'm right all the time. It's just
well,
fake
I don't
news.
want to go on an old man rant here, but I do
Go
think
ahead.
on Instagram, a lot of the posts, there's a style of writing with Instagram that is like very perfunctory, very amped up. And then the room went silent, and it's just been written by
I
AI.
hate AI storytelling. It
Yes,
makes
AI storytelling.
But yesterday I was like, oh my god, there were these little ducklings, baby ducks in rain suits, little raincoats with pockets, and they're walking through the rain. And then all of a sudden you see the guy who's doing it, and he's got 3 arms, and you're like, oh,
No, and people will say I don't usually repost AI, but this is so cute. Don't let them get you.
yes, that
Oh,
therein
no.
lies the problem. You're absolutely correct.
Oh God, okay. Moan. Number 6, James.
Number 6.
Blake took me to Slam Dance over the weekend. We went to go see a documentary by our good friend Nikki Calabrese, who used to be a World of Wonder
Of
employee.
course.
She has done a documentary called Under the Rainbow, and it is about the missing ruby slippers that were stolen in 2005. There were 4 sets of slippers that were worn by Judy in The Wizard of Oz. And the Smithsonian has a pair. Steven Spielberg and Leonardo DiCaprio own a pair. A private investor in we don't know where we don't know who he is. He has a pair, and then this guy named Michael Shaw here in Los Angeles had a pair, and he had a Hollywood memorabilia museum, and they were the star exhibit of his memorabilia, and he loaned them to the Judy Garland Museum in Minnesota. And when he loaned them there, they did not have any guards. They did not have any security cameras. They did not have a security alarm. And this gentleman, this old-timey crook named Terry John Martin, stole them. And he just smashed the window, walked in, grabbed him, and 10 seconds later, he was out the door, and they had been missing for 20 years. Now, Nikki got Terry John Martin on camera, and he's dying of like emphysema or something. He's got oxygen, and he's talking about, back in the day when I would be running, in jail and this and that and everything. And he's just this character, like right out of Warner Brothers. 1940, and he's telling the story of that. And apparently he had stolen them, and then he gave them to another criminal to hide. And was that Louis Anderson's brother?
No, they were all in the same network together, but
They were
it
the
was
Jewish mafia.
Jerry.
Yeah.
Jerry, remember, was the other guy, and Jerry and Terry were the ones who made the sex tape.
Well, that's it. That's what I'm getting at. So hurry back, Fenty, because this is important. So Jerry and Jerry, the 2 criminals, made a porno with the girl wearing the shoes, nothing but the shoes, and you see her feet flopping around in the slippers. Oh! And she's moaning and she's groaning, and so the slippers have had this wild journey. Then they were buried in a box
In
for
Jerry's
20 years,
yard.
for 10 years.
Yeah.
Something like that, and finally they've gotten the police found him and arrested Terry. And but the funny thing is that Michael Shaw, the owner, when they were returned to him, the insurance company had given him a payout of $800,000, and now they wanted. He got the shoes for $1,500 in the 70s during an auction, an MGM auction, and
Yes.
so he got $800,000, and now they wanted that $800,000 back.
Well, of course. Isn't that
Yeah.
right?
Well, yeah, but he didn't have it. This was 20 years ago. Of course he had spent it. So he had to put the shoes up for auction.
Yes.
And so what happened was he thought that they would get maybe between $1 million and $2 million. They go up for auction, $1 million. Oh, do we hear 1.2? Do we hear 1.4? Do we hear 2 million? Yes. Do we hear 4 million? Yes. Do we hear 6 million? Yes. 6 million, 8 million, 10 million, 14 million, 18 million, 20 million, $22 million, $24 million going twice. Bang! And so
it was 28.
It was it went up to $28 million, and so it was like it, and you see the tears running down his face, and everyone in the audience is like, it's one of those great, like, how can you can't lose?
Yeah, but that's like 14 million after taxes. So
what an amazing story! That's fantastic.
Good for Nikki. Good
you
for
had,
Nikki.
you had these great characters, this old, like getting the thief on camera, and he's unrepentant, and he's like, they're idiots, they're freaking idiots, and it's just, and then Michael Shaw, and he's sitting there, surrounded by memorabilia of Debbie,
Wow.
Debbie Reynolds. And
is that in theaters? Like, how can we see it?
It just premiered in Sundance, and it's coming. Blake, what do you know?
I think it'll be coming soon.
Hopefully we'll remember all the spoilers by the time it actually comes out.
Sorry. But it was a very exciting movie, and Nikki Calabrese.
We're seeing for yourself.
Congratulations to Nikki. That's amazing. Nikki made Small Town News, among other things.
Yes, in Harumph. Yes, yeah.
Nikki's amazing. She's a good friend. She's awesome.
She is.
And she was fantastic.
Number 5. Another doc. One that me and Randy are slightly involved in, Murder in Glitterball City. And a couple of weeks ago, I think, we had Little John and Missy on the show. And I was just feeling so sort of, after doing that.
Now wait, for our viewers or for our listeners who cannot see, Tom has just put on a glitter ball on a disco ball helmet.
Just stealing the scene, and I reset the lighting in my room because it looks like I've got a glitter ball.
Yes, everyone's got a little glitter.
It looks like he's reflecting onto you.
Yes,
actually.
there you go. It's Tom.
I will be silent and listen. I'm sorry. I just felt this needed to happen visually.
Where was it? Oh, yes, I was just about to say. I sort of felt I didn't really set up John and Missy. Like, people might have thought, what is going on here? But the documentary's now out. It's 2 parts. It's on HBO. And, to Randy and my surprise, actually, happy surprise, because we thought when we were making it, it's about this very grim, gruesome murder between two guys, and that they kill their hookup partner, Jamie Carroll, who was this fabulous hairdresser.
During a methy PNP experience where they invited a third over. They bury him in the basement. Yeah. And then what happens?
Well, they carry on with their life for 6 months until they have a falling out. And then when the police show up for the domestic that they've been called out to intervene on, they each point the finger at the other. And that's really where the whole thing begins. It's like, well, 2 people both saying the same thing, that the other one did it. So who did it? Have you seen it, James?
Yes, I have. I was absolutely fascinated. It does such a great job of showing you. It's sort of like Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil, where the town itself, the Louisville, which is just a crazy place. The buildings are fabulous. Every building has a murder story. Everybody there is a little bit kooky. You get to know all the different people within the murder suspect circle. You have the drag queen. You have the little girl with the red hair. She's so fun. I love her. It's a lot of fun, but then it gets very grim very quickly. I do want to just say, shout out that Wall Street Journal, The Guardian, Vanity Fair all gave it a huge rave. You should be very proud of yourself. It gets nothing but love from what my Twitter feed is telling me.
Oh, good.
It's a hit, baby. I love it so much. I do not have a stomach for crime. And so I know you guys have been working this for like 4-something years.
5 freaking years.
Yeah, and I knew that you guys would find a way, and you did, as only you two can do. so rich in character. The things I learned, and there's a lots you learn again, there's the procedural and there's the crime, and that's fascinating in and of itself. That's what somebody else would have made. But you guys, as James said, explore the city, explore the architecture, explore the humanity, explore the source material. What's the name of the author of the book?
David Domine, and the book's called A Dark Room in Glitterball City. And
yes,
I mean the Glitterball itself was such a reveal, like
the home of the disco ball. It's where it was invented.
It was invented
8 or something.
It was invented in Louisville, and they still make them, right?
Yes.
The other thing that, again, you guys are always finding gems. It's like the drag queen who explained that crystal meth is called Tina because it turns you into a jerky person like Tina Turner.
Yes, because
I didn't know that. Now that's on record. That's the kids now know.
I have been calling it
Summers.
Tina for 20 years. The other thing I just want to point out is where would filmmakers be without drones? Because some of that drone footage is so amazing of just the swooping through the city, swooping down through the neighborhoods. So beautiful. Yeah.
A drone of one's own. Yes. I mean, and I think also where would we be without like camcorders and people sort of making videos themselves,
Yes.
Because the thing that really, I guess there were 3 things. One was like, the Glitterball has this interesting history. And then it was when Francie, our editor, we were like, how do we put this all together? And she played us this version of Britney Spears, this cover version of Toxic by Britney Spears. And it is so good. I don't know what it is about it, but it's just
a scary, slow version of it. Yes.
And it sort of conjures everything, the sort of malaise, the creepiness, the sort of, I don't know. It's so dystopian and incredible. And
all of your documentaries are delightful. You guys always do an amazing job, but I'm so glad that this one's getting the attention it deserves, and that you guys, because it also, people in the reviews are talking about the body of your guys' work and how this is emblematic of everything from Drag Race to Party Monster and everything in between. And I also think you do an amazing job of keeping the spirit of the victim alive and paying tribute to him. I think that's so important.
Because I'll tell you something, the lesson learned is that the victim in this case was someone who was so likable and so sweet and so did not deserve obviously what happened to him, but you really do get a sense of who he is through his friends and through his employers and everything like that. Yeah, very nice.
And thank you, David, for writing the book, because if it wasn't for that, it wouldn't have happened. And thank you to HBO actually, because there's some really explicit stuff in there, and only on HBO would they let you tell that story fully, because it has been told in other true crime iterations.
Speaking of the algorithm, my HBO landing page this morning had, hot, must see, heated rivalry, murder in Glitterball City, Hacks, and I Love LA, which are my favorite shows, and I love HBO. HBO has kick-ass programming there. I said,
and Night of the Seven Kingdoms, by God.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, let's pray for HBO too, and let's think on certain times. All right, let's take a break. Blake.
Yes, I have a question.
Yeah.
Speaking of glitter balls, there was only 1 Grammy given for Best Disco Recording ever in 1980.
Huh.
Who was it given to?
Ooh, we'll have the answer right here on the Wow Report right after the break.
You're listening to World of Wonders Wow Report. Things that make us go wow.
Welcome back to the Wow Report. Fenton here with Tom and James and Blake. And thank you guys for being so nice about that. That really
meant every word. Meant every word.
Sweetheart. So, Blake, this is an interesting question.
Yes. Watch Murder in Glitterball City on HBO Max. And speaking of glitter balls, there was only 1 Grammy for Best Disco Recording ever given, and it was in 1980. Who was it given to, and for what?
Well, it would have to be Donna Summer. No,
could it be Donna Summer and Barbara Streisand
I was
together?
thinking about Donna and Barbara.
But that was
but that was 79, 78,
I
79.
think it's Bee Gees.
No, they wouldn't have had anything in 80.
Okay.
Those are all good.
And it was, just to clarify, it was a disco Grammy. So like a Grammy for a disco record.
Category of disco, yes.
All right. Okay, got it.
Those are all good guesses. It went to Gloria Gaynor for I Will Survive.
Oh,
In 1980, I thought
It
that
happened
was
later than you think. The thing about disco is it got so hot so quick and then it burnt out quickly. But 78, 79, and even 80 were like, it was hot, and then boom, the door came down.
Yeah, by 81, there wasn't a best disco category.
well
So.
because that was after Disco Sucks, the famous.
Because Kaminsky Park, was it?
Yeah.
Where they blew up all the disco records?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm. All right, we're counting down the top 10 things of the week that made us go wow. And we've reached number 4.
Number 4.
We do a rest in peace segment often.
Hmm.
As of late, they have been very, very personal. And it continues this week that we lost great down under drag queen Maxi Shield at the tender age of 51 to throat cancer. Maxi was one of the first in the first cast of the first ever RuPaul's Drag Race Down Under, which she was a delight. She didn't finish in the very top, but she was left an incredible impression, so much so. And I'm going to spill a little bit, but it's like there is going to be an All-Stars versus the World coming up Down Under. And Maxi Shield was one of the first queens we had on the list. And she was going to be part of it. And she was diagnosed in September and shared with Theron and then with the world, but that she could not participate because she had to take care of her health. And unfortunately, she was not successful, in fighting it.
Really quick diagnosis to
fun queen, jovial. No one has you sound like again like the idea that only the good die young just seems to be so friggin' true, because no one had a bad thing to say about Maxi Shield. No. She was partners with Vanity of Wigs and Vanity, and so
there is a little ray of sunshine in that Maxi, when she got the diagnosis, just wanted to recover, and it looked like she had, and wanted to get back and perform, and she did. So
in February of this year, just like a few weeks before, she did perform. So God bless her for trying. Listen, we're all here for as long as we are. People have it much worse. I'm not trying to be a pity party, but it's becoming overwhelming how many friends and associates we're losing. And it just goes to show you, I mean, did we talk about Jason Schumacher, who was the original press person for Drag Race? He passed away very suddenly of sudden diagnosis, death, again, cancer. And it just, let's enjoy every single day. And as much as we do bitch and bark a little bit, I think we do try to find gratitude and light in this world. So God bless us all, and rest in perfection and peace and beauty, Maxi Shield.
Yeah. Beautiful. James, number 3.
Number 3.
Well, I'm going to talk about a bunch of ingrates, a bunch of Gen Zers. There is a new trend, a new theory among Gen Zers, a certain kind of antinatalism. After a 21-year-old went on to social media and ignited a firestorm viral debate saying he refuses to work because he was never chose to be born by his parents. They are responsible for financially supporting him for life. Now,
no consent. He did not give consent. He did not give consent to be born.
He did not give consent to be born. I rolled my eyes when I heard this. I went on to comment, and I thought everyone would be with me. By God, it was an avalanche of Gen Zers saying, people, I feel this in my soul. People need to stop making babies unless you can give them a good life. Creating a child is an extremely selfish act, satisfying biological urges without consenting, without acknowledging the moral consequence of that action. Blah, blah, blah. It went on and on for hours. I wrote, fine, don't work. See how that works out for you. I say kick them to the curb and let their biological imperative, either you sink or you swim, or you live or you die. What say you? I see Blake has a millennial. He's going to say, I didn't ask to be done.
Well, in their defense,
I knew it.
Look at the world and how fucking expensive everything is now. And because of our parents, we can't afford anything because they were so fucking greedy.
Though everybody has been saying the world is crap since for 100
years. Yeah, but you
now.
Could afford to go to college and buy a house and everything. And we are like told to consume, and we don't get any money for it.
He was destitute. He is this far from being a street.
I'm going to take a step much further back, which is like, if you believe in some plan of the universe, some divine something, like, we used to have to like worry about dying in childbirth, of being eaten by creatures in the cave, of starvation, of freezing to death, of, I don't know, like we used to be man against nature. And now that we're all soft and cuddly and have so much, it's like people, have
are
time
looking for something to bitch about.
Yes, and have the time. It made me laugh because it was like, I didn't give consent either. But it's like,
how do you ask consent of a fetus?
I know, but it makes you go further about a lot of things.
Into
and
the
it's
room
like,
and ask.
Life is hard.
I think all the sperm and all the eggs sign releases. That's the way it should be. Like
NGA form, yes.
Yeah, right.
I actually thought this was going to be like Gen Zers were refusing to have babies because it was expensive.
Well, I think it's the end of the species right now because everyone's just like, well, we can't.
Alert, people have babies whether they want them or not.
That's just it. It's like, life is tough and then you die, get over it, or die from it.
It's the gift of life. I mean, my gosh, imagine. Yes. I wonder all the unborn people complaining that they wanted to be born, but they weren't.
Well, that's purgatory is filled with a bunch of unborn children, sobbing that they didn't get their chance. I guess
this could go south. I just have a feeling we're like on some weird cancellation ice here. We just plummet through,
Well, okay, then they have a point, and it's up for debate whether you should be born or not.
Just think of all those other little sperms that were trying to get into that egg that didn't every time.
I mean,
if your sperm makes it through, if you're the sperm that makes it through, you have won the lottery of life. You have won.
You are also a serial killer. You are responsible for the deaths of all those other sperms.
Skating on thin ice again.
How about number 2?
Number 2.
Okay, I've got a trend alert. Number 2, Chinamaxxing. I never heard of Chinamaxxing, but I guess everything now is maxing this, maxing that, optimization, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
Yeah. But that, Adidas have had this huge, big success with the Tang jackets that they've introduced at New Year's. And they were originally it's sort of a fashion alert. They were only available, I think, originally in Asia. And now you can get them here. But they're sort of like, it's one of those like viral high fashion streetwear hybrid things. And they've just taken off. And apparently there's this whole sort of movement, and you can't really tell on social media whether something is a movement or whether it's some sort of irony, trolling.
Ironic. Yes, people are.
But the whole thing, I mean, it really is interesting to me because as America flounders, there is this sense that in Asia that it has become the engine of popular culture. The trains in China are amazing, that the infrastructure works, it's not broken. It does seem a really interesting moment. All right, let's take one more break. By the way, should just say, RuPaul's Drag Race Season 18 and Untucked, Fridays on MTV in the US, and of course, WoW presents worldwide outside of the US, Canada, and Australia. And then there's those 2 official after shows, Fashion Photo Review and Hello, Hello, Hello. So go to wowpresentsplus.com. All right, one more break. And then when we come back, the number 1 thing this week that made us go, wow.
Wow.
You're listening to World of Wonders Wow Report. Things that make us go wow.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Wow Report. It's Fenton here with James and Tom and Blake. We've been counting down the top 10 things of the week that made us go wow. And we have reached number 1.
Number 1.
I didn't watch the Olympics. I don't really care about the Olympics. I like them theoretically. I don't get involved. I'm a gay, so I don't hate figure skating, but I don't live for figure skating. But I saw online the gold medal winning performance to MacArthur Park Suite of Alysa Liu, who is the women's skating champion from America. So today took my breath away. It wasn't skating. It was AI. It was real AI. the power and strength she had, so she could do all the moves. It was almost like the required stuff was like, yeah, I can do that. And then she brought so much art to every move. I'd never been so moved or felt like I was really, because usually skating, figure skating is like rah, 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 delicate, rah, 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 delicate. She was just fluid. I'm just so impressed. And again, doing America proud, a second generation American, a Chinese father, just like when I started reading around it. And so that's my new, it used to be the Susan Lucci's Emmy Award winning speech made me happy. I'd watched that a lot. I was been watching a lot of You Don't Own Me at the end of First Wives Club lately. Sorry, James. And now I've been watching this performance. So.
And a fabulous disco song too, right?
Yes, and the long, like long version with like orchestration and just disco.
Well, I would want you to watch some of the other skaters as well, because there were a number of them that were really fantastic. There was the couples skate that did it to Supermodel that was absolutely fantastic.
I did see that online.
Yeah, that was good. And then of course Ilya, the little blonde boy who had his who fell. But the skate before that was absolutely transcendent. It's something.
I want to get Alysa Liu on the next Drag Race. You heard it here first.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, thanks for watching, everyone. Tuning in, I should say. You can catch past shows on our YouTube channel, Wow Presents, and same time, same place next week. Until then, go out and do something that makes the world go
wow.